Alright, what's up everyone? Hi, hello. I'm Dove, and this is Megaman 2, with an asterisk. Um, I tried. I really did 2 full recorded playthroughs, and when it came down to the editing, I just wasn't satisfied with either of them. Um, the editing work was a lot for cutting out deaths, cutting out stage replays, um, cutting out checkpoints I gave myself because I didn't see the merit in, oops, game over at boss, redo entire stage. Nothing has changed, but do stage over. Get good, lol. So, for the sake of the anniversary project, this is a tool-assisted, super play, one playthrough, one movie, Mega Man 2 the movie, now with difficult mode, aka the original actual Japanese difficulty of Mega Man 2, or Rockman 2, I guess. So yeah, this is how it's gonna be. We're starting with Metal Man, of course, and if you know why, I mean, if you know, you know, and if you don't, then find someone who knows. They are now your buddy. Sit with them on the school bus. So, we're starting with Metal Man. Yeah, no, I wasn't satisfied with either of the other playthroughs I did, so I wanted to do something for the anniversary project. I thought about playing Mega Man 4, but it probably would have had the same problem, and its final boss is worse, I think, if I recall. And just for the sake of mirroring in the anniversary. So, like, for people that don't know as to why the playthroughs have been the way they are, it's the anniversary project. And, 11 years ago, I started a YouTube channel. It's this one. And I wanted to celebrate the 10-year anniversary, except I forgot for a long time and life got in the way. Hey, that 1-up, by the way, is a natural drop. That wasn't me doing tool-assisted shenanigans. I'm just killing things, and now I kind of just want my health back. But hey, look, 2 1-ups. That didn't happen when I was doing this, like, for real. When I was just, like, fighting these things and playing the game for real. Because if it were, I probably wouldn't have been so weird about it. Like, if I actually had a stockpile of lives when I was playing this game, like, on the up and up, I probably wouldn't have needed to do this. But considering tool-assisted means the emulator does all the editing for me, essentially, for all practical purposes of presenting a playthrough in a cohesive manner, this is what we're getting. So, yeah, I'm being upfront about it. It's tool-assisted. It's tool-assisted because I suck ass at Mega Man 2. That's basically the long and short of it, and I wouldn't have bothered if it were just like, hey, I want to do a Mega Man 2 playthrough for literally no reason. I probably wouldn't. I probably would have just let it go. But, hey, look, that was a Capcom jump that shouldn't have been. I just tripped and fell onto that. I probably should be dead there. But I'm not, obviously, because the video still keeps going. I think there is, like, a death or two in this series. I don't know, though. Like, I haven't watched this back in a long time. So, yeah, no, I did a 100 sub special way back in the day for Mega Man X2. And it was a lot of fun. I rather enjoyed that game. I was kind of bad at it, and there was stuff I missed, but it was a fun time. So the anniversary project is I want to do mirrors of all the first things I LP'd 10 years ago, asterisk, now 11 years ago. And that's what Super Mario Bros. 3 was, and that's what Kirby 64 was, and that's what this is. And the next 2 playthroughs after this are also going to be that. So I just wanted to have a nice mirror for Mega Man X2, and this is also going to count as a 200 sub special that I never did, whoops. So, yeah, this is Metal Man. It's not really a hard fight, rather patternated. When the conveyor is pushing you to the wall, it's really, really, really easy. But then when it's pushing you away from the wall, it gets, like, kind of messy, because you gotta, like, jump and then not jump, and then, like, control and directions, and, you know, this isn't gonna be perfect. I'm not tool assisting out in, you know, every single mistake. I'm gonna take damage. I'm gonna waste weapons. I'm still gonna farm. It's still a playthrough. It's just, I didn't use slowdowns. I didn't really rewind a whole lot. There's just, you know, playthrough tool-assisted. If, for whatever reason, you don't know what a tool-assisted playthrough is, I will link toolassistedvideos.org in the description, and they'll explain it better than I can. Also, I recommend just, like, taking some time to watch a lot of those because it's fun. Also, I'm doing really bad despite being tool-assisted against Metal Man here, but hey, we win, lol. Spoiler warning, we basically always win. But yeah, no, this is just my way of handling the anniversary stuff. Because because I'm not great at this game and I didn't want to get good at this game specifically to have a subpar playthrough anyway. The amount of editing it would have taken. Like, I don't know, this feels like the best way of handling it for me, for the anniversary project. If there's like super mega demand, pun not intended, but we're going with it. If there's super mega demand, I'll play through this game legit someday. Like, for content, but this is just kind of a way for me to reminisce in retrospect. And we're going to Woodman here. So here's the other thing. I don't know the boss order for this game specifically all that well. Because like I never played this game. So I Googled it. And I found like a bunch of different conflicting things. One of which put like, I think it was like an IGN or a wiki or something, put Metal Man like near last for some reason. When Metal Man is like a really easy stage, really easy boss, and its weapon is universally useful, and like a lot of bosses are not semi-weak to it, but like there's no reason to save Metal Man for like 6th or 7th in the boss order, and I thought that was weird. I knew I was always going to start with Metal Man and go from there. And I guess Woodman is like kind of weak to Metal Blade? I don't know. But also Metal Blade, it can shoot in 8 directions and uses like no weapon energy, so that's fun. I don't think I use every single weapon in this playthrough. I think there's a couple I leave out, at least until the Wily stages where it's like, some of these I just straight up don't use. I know I like never use Bubble until final boss because like, the Wily stages, they're some of the stages of all time. I'm not a big fan of those dog things. I think the speedrun uses Flash to skip all of that and then do like a cool dippy dip here and skip the universe. But, yeah, that's the long and short of it. So, we're just kind of going through the stage right now. And hey, look, there's a monkey guy. Okay, bye, monkey guy. According to IGN, you should just deal with those things instead of killing them legit. Also, this is another good farm opportunity because you can get a lot of health and a lot of weapon energy back. And it's pretty neat. And then you can fight birds and monkeys at the same time. And, yeah, it's pretty cool. The stage is just a stage, really. There's not much to it. It exists. It's neat. And yeah, cool, here's a rabbit guy. Hey, look, weapon energy. That's really handy. I'm pretty sure that was also a natural drop. Like, I generally know, like, when I'm farming, I'm going for specific things. Also, carrots hurt robots, in case you were wondering and needed to know that. And yeah, this is, like, all-in-one take audio director's commentary for Mega Man 2, the movie here. This is not going to be, like, a regular thing going forward, unless people like this sort of thing, where I do, like, a soft tool-assisted thing of a game. And look, if you do that, those birds just jump over you. It's pretty neat. I think you can just like stand still, but I couldn't get that to work, so I just went back like a step. Woodman is a pretty hard boss. On my first actual recorded proper LP playthrough attempt, I died here like 3 times, and it was very much a thing. I think I'd like want to not use turbo here either because like it's gonna just yeah, like it takes 2 pips per metal blade. I don't know about just regular buster shot. I think its actual weakness is heat man. I could be wrong. Flame heatsman. But we did that to be able to defeat Airman. Which I can't do. So, you know, it's gonna be a real short tool-assisted video. Just don't look at the actual YouTube link. That'll be funnier that way. Anyway, yeah, just kidding. We're doing Bubble Man now. Yeah, my particular boss order here was strange. But, like, I didn't know it, so I just kind of followed a guide. Hey, is something happening to the bitrate of the video? Everything looks awful. Thanks, water effects in an old retro video game. Anyway, yeah, those are some frog guys. That's pretty neat. But, like, you know, that one healed me, so it's okay. That one knew Slorp, so it's fine. That one gave me weapon energy. It only dropped an ether, only a mid-ether. It's okay, not a great ether. That joke will be apparent in a couple of playthroughs. But that's later problem. Anyway, these platforms just kind of fall, and they fall really fast, and if you're still on them when they start falling, you have no momentum, and you just die. First playthrough, found that one out the hard way. I probably could have salvaged the second full playthrough, because my commentary for the first few stages weren't that bad. Like, the regular 8 stages in this game aren't that bad. The bosses aren't that bad. The main kicker when playing this game, at least for me, is the Wily stages. These are some of the Wily stages of all time, Mega Man 2. But, we'll get to that when we get to that. Right now we're in water, and there's water physics, and you can jump forever, but if you try to jump forever, you're gonna hit the ceiling, and spikes instantly kill you because Mega Man. And why did I run away from that anglerfish? I probably could have just, like, diagonal shot up at that point. I think I'm, like, trying to farm for weapon, yeah. And then I just, like, kind of back off of it. I'm pretty sure this was, like, Tool shenanigans, where I'm, like, trying to manipulate drops and stuff. Because I'm trying to get my Metal Blade back. Not just for the boss, but, like, because I'm gonna have to fight this enemy again. So, yeah, even one little tiny pip is worth it, as long as you didn't have to, like, shoot a whole lot of Metal Blade shots. Like, the amount of weapon energy Metal Blade doesn't use is pretty staggering. It's why I get it first. It's why this game is, like, probably one of the easier ones, at least in terms of Robot Master stages. Like, it's weird. Classic Mega Man is kind of a weird beast to think about, and to a lesser extent Mega Man X. But, like, the Robot Master stages in Mega Man... Oh, hey, yeah, big drop. I don't remember if that was farmed or not. That one might have been. That one might be a tool-assisted shenanigan. That's what TAS actually stands for. Like, I don't know how true this is universally, but, like, my experience with Mega Man is, you know, the Robot Master stages aren't that bad. Some of them are easier, harder than others. Okay, so it's like open world, you can do what you want. And then the Wily stages are just like, hey, you've done literally everything, so now it's like really, really hard for no reason. And Mega Man 2's flavor of it is, you don't recharge weapon energy between Wily stages. In normal stages, yes, you do. But for some reason, the Wily stages in Mega Man 2, you have to game over specifically. And you'll stay from where you were. That's not a problem. You'll start from whatever stage you were on. You're not gonna have to do it all in a gauntlet, but, like, in order to heal your weapon energy, you have to game over. Now that doesn't sound too bad on its own, except there are two bosses in the Wily stages that have one specific only hittable weakness. As in, not this thing is its weakness and you can use the Buster to just kind of fumble through. No. The final boss and one of the Wily stage bosses can only be damaged full stop by one out of all of your weapon types. Which means going through the Wily stages, you either play around game overs or you never use that weapon type ever. And, like, I'm good. Anyway, I can't defeat Airman. This is the end of the video. Like, comment, subscribe. Just don't look at the timestamp because there's dead air. All the rest is a word from our sponsors. And, anyway, this is Airman stage. I like doing that. That one was not actually a tool-assisted shenanigan. I just went for that, and I got it. And it's something I can kind of do casually, semi-reliably. Because, like, yeah, like a little bit... Mega Man as a platformer is very interesting because it kind of really demands a lot of your prowess in terms of platforming. Like, making the use out of each tile and block for maximum height and maximum distance. Heretofore known as Capcom jumps. Being on the very, very, very edge of a block and then making your jump. Usually with, like, some kind of forward momentum. Like from a run. I don't mean just like, you know, jumping to the right. I mean like with a run. And, I call it Capcom jumping because of the Mega Man series and because Mega Man expects that a lot. But it's not the only Capcom retro NES, SNES style game to demand that of you either. So, anyway, birds are back. Everyone's favorite farmable, except it does damage because, yeah. Hey, look at all that weapon energy. I didn't need all of it. Hey, look at all of that energy and life. I'm pretty sure I was looking for health, but got a 1-up out of it. I'm pretty sure that one wasn't straight natural. The first 2 life drops in Metal Man stage were natural. That one might have been, I don't know. But, like, the bird one wasn't, but I was looking for health, not lives. And all these lives are kind of a detriment more than anything. Because, like, I probably could have done the game over tank strat. But that would have involved dying many, many times, so. And honestly, I don't like that as a design philosophy anyway. Game over in order to progress. Like, I guess some narrative-driven games can make that a thing. But this is an NES platformer. I don't want to have to game over because because the bosses were designed a specific way. I just despawned that guy. I was trying to kill it and then it just disappeared, and I actually genuinely don't understand why that guy disappeared and despawned, but you know, we take those. In this line of work, we just take those. Hey look, there's a lot of stuff that dropped. I just wanted health. I'm pretty sure a 1-up fell out of that. I'm not sure. Or health. Or, you know, a mailbox. And we don't know. We just don't know. Anyway, I can't defeat Airman. It was a really famous song, and I'm really bad at this fight, but I know how this fight works in theory. It's sort of the same with a lot of speedrun tricks where, oh yeah, this boss is actually really easy. You just do X, Y, Z, and it dies really, really easily. Also, the normal Buster Shot just really, really, really helps. But I'm like really bad at this fight. And I'm getting a lot of really good patterns watching this in post. And yeah, we did it. We beat the Megaman. We beat the Airman. I have avenged a Japanese singer from like 15 years ago or something. Me and like tens of thousands of other gamers or whatever. I did it with tools, but other people do it with skill. So take that. You know, the reason to beat Airman isn't even for Airman power. It's for an incoming transmission from the big giant head. It's actually item 2. We'll see what that does relatively soon-ish, maybe kind of. But for right now, I think we just get our weapons ready to get equipped with item -2. And it's purple for some reason. Anyway, we're red for some reason. Anyway, I got a Crash Man here. That's weird. I did this in a weird order, but I was following Google, so I don't know. Anyway, this stage is something else. We immediately go to Metal Blade. We immediately get weapon energy that we don't need. And then, you know, hey, we could have used it now. Hey, look, health we don't need. And hey, look, guys. The stage design in general in this game is actually pretty nice. Like, some of the stages in this game are genuinely, like, a lot of fun to just kind of, like, go around in. I mean, Mega Man 2 is a fun video game. I just don't like its endgame. I think that can boil down to it. Dove, I thought the whole point of this was that you didn't like your commentary the first time around. Yeah, no. I was way more negative then than I am right now when it comes... Because I was in the middle of, like, actually playing it. So all of my thoughts were a lot more raw. Anyway, we're on a platform and it's got a wheel and it's driving us around. This is like the city bus of the Crash Man city. That's pretty cool. And there's guys and they endlessly respawn and they move really slowly. And I actually stopped to get that life. Okay. Right, and then I just rezone because I want to be on the thing without waiting an entire cycle. Well, I guess half a cycle, but like I would have had to wait for it to go all the way around. So anyway, this whole hot mess looks really complicated. It isn't, you just like stay on a thing. Also, these things can knock you off of your platform if you're unlucky and not careful about managing them. But again, Metal Blade is just really, 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 really good. So, yeah, we're just like gonna use it because it pierces per shot and then hey, look, we're here. I probably could have made that jump several tiers earlier thinking on it. I didn't. And I'm still using Metal Blade against this thing for some reason. Maybe I was like trying to see if it would die in one hit. Maybe I just didn't care to switch. I don't know. Anyway, here's a screen with nothing on it. It's pretty neat. I was like looking to see if there was like something on it, but I guess not. I think I did this to try and bait myself into a commentary trap where I like quote someone else who did a thing there. But no, you didn't get me past me. Present me is aware of it, and future me is probably not going to care too much about it because I don't watch my own stuff. Anyway, yeah, now it's all nighttime, and those are Metars, the first instance of them ever, probably. Oh wait, no, they were in Godsman Station 1, never mind. But still, it's the first one in this game ever, and this is the first Mega Man game, because Mega Man 1 is like Astro Boy and also kind of weird, and let's just leave it at weird. I didn't play X1, I played X2, because X1 is a weird game, but like not to the same degree that Mega Man 1 is a weird game. Because like, a vast majority of really popular series on the Nintendo Entertainment System / Famicom systems, like, they had what I like to call NES sequel weirdness. Mario 2, at least in North America, because in Japan it was just Super Mario USA. Also Doki Doki Panic. But Mario 2 was like a completely different game where you like pick vegetables and throw stuff, and you also play as the princess and Toad for some reason. And Zelda had Zelda 2, which turned it from Zelda to this side-scrolling weird action game that a lot of people love nowadays. A lot of people speak very fondly of Zelda 2, and it's very weird. Not that I hate the game, but it is a very weird phenomenon I've noticed. Yeah, but Zelda 2 was completely different. Metroid 2 was on the Game Boy, but it was also completely different, so I counted in terms of that. Final Fantasy 2 was very different, even though we never saw it in North America. For, like, a really, really long time anyway. But, like, all these games are really different. I'm trying to think of more examples. I'm coming up a little short. But you get the idea. Like, all these very popular series that started on NES were very, very different afterwards. And then we get to Mega Man 2, only it feels like the reverse. Like, it was definitely a departure in the same way that, like, all the others were. It just departed into something more formulaic than less. And, it departed into something way more fun. We went from 6 Robot Masters to 8, which, you know, more content I'm pretty okay with. I was trying to farm, but then, like, the drops don't stay on ladders, so... So here's another farming segment. Welcome to the farm. It's the farm episode. That dropped weird. But yeah, like, this was a departure, but it departed into a formula instead of away from. And like, obviously the gameplay loop didn't change that much between 1 and 2, but it like removed the score thing, the weird pause thing, made the weapons more usable. But it feels so different to play Mega Man 1 to Mega Man 2. And, you know, it's such a weird inverse example, but still fits. Like a double reverse thing that just, it just worked. There wasn't anything else to it. It just worked. And a lot of people like this game. A lot of people think it's overrated. A lot of people don't like this game. A lot of people have opinions, and opinions are dangerous things to have on the internet. I'm pretty sure I'm like the 1 millionth person to make that joke. I want like a plaque in my honor. Like I'm like, I want my free iPod Nano because hey, I did a thing. You know, I made the 1 millionth joke. So like, this is, yeah, definitely me trying to farm weapon energy. But then I realized, wait, I don't need Metal Blade for this fight. This is Crash Man. I think I use, yeah, air. Because I was like, nothing was dropping and I couldn't get weapon energy to reliably drop without like a lot of iterations of those guys, and I just said, heck it. Hey look, air. So, yeah, that was a blunder on my end. But I would have had to like redo the entire stage to, like, because I didn't leave a save state before that farm spot. So, I had to play it out as it was. Anyway, we got Crash Bomber. We're basically never seeing this thing until we need it for Wily's stage. I don't know why. Now we do Heat Man. I did this in a very weird order. Because, like, Quickman, Flashman, or Flashman, Quickman just, like, you know, makes sense on their own. And I usually save them for last anyway, because Quickman's stage is really hard. Anyway, hey, remember these guys? We were farming them 5 seconds ago. Now they're dropping weapon energy, and I remember remarking upon that audibly during the actual making of the playthrough. And I remember something similar happening in, I want to say, the second full playthrough that I recorded, where like I was trying to get weapon energy before Crash Man, and it wasn't dropping, and then the same enemy here dropped it. It was like a weird phenomenon. I don't know what all takes those little guys out. I know Metal Blade does not, and the Buster does not, and I'm pretty sure Heatman's thing does. Yoku blocks. This is where it becomes obvious this is tool assisted, because lol, I do not have these memorized. And we're gonna have to do it again like relatively soon. Hub? Oh no, I missed. That's me going, hey, it's a Yoku block, I guess. But yeah, no, this is where it becomes like increasingly obvious this is tool assisted. Yeah, because like I struggle with those. I really, really like the Yoku block. I really do. Like, I think it's a really cool thing that more games should do, just not over instant death obstacles and bottomless pits. But I like the idea of them. I like these blocks. They're cool little guys, and I like them. I like when games put them in that are not Mega Man. I like when games put them in that are Mega Man. Hey, look at all this stuff I could be doing and choose not to, because even in a tool assisted, I choose not to. This is why we get item 2 and beat Airman that we can't do. I jump off for this life, and I'm actually not entirely sure why I do that. Also, the Yoku block pushed my little rocket guy down a little bit, and we're out of little rocket guys, so we're gonna go. Anyway, these things, I suck at fighting them, so I just take like a hit from a gun, because contact damage with that enemy does way too much damage. Anyway, it's time for Heat's Flamesman. Do I use bubble here? Yeah. Because I don't in the refight. Weird, because when I was going through the refights later, I'm like, wait, I didn't use bubble during the thing. I didn't show off its weakness here either. Yeah, all the weird delay before it jumps sometimes. And this boss does a lot of damage. It's a damage race. And like, it's not the longest stage, but my first playthrough game overed here. Because I was on 0 lives and like no health. Because I forgot. And what I ended up doing was just loading the pre-episode recording save state and starting over. So that was a take. This version of the fight was a take 4, I guess we're saying. Anyway, we got item 1 now. So they want you to do this before Airman, I guess. If the numbers mean anything, I genuinely don't know. So item 2 is a cool little rocket guy. Item 1 is a cool little platform guy. Item 3, which I don't know if we have yet or not, is a cool little bouncy guy. Let's fight Flashman. Because I struggle with Quickman without this power. On normal difficulty, Flashman one-shots Quickman. In difficult, it takes off half of its health. Which is interesting, actually. But I'll get more into that when we actually get to Quickman proper. And Quickman stage, because it's probably the most interesting thing in all of the 8 Robot Master stages. A lot of people start with this stage because in the speedrun, I guess, Flashman's power is really useful. Ba-da-ba. Hey, look, a 1-up I'm probably not going back for, I hope. Okay, good. I have some sense. Because I could go up there as well. Break through those crash barriers and skip this enemy entirely. But I choose not to do that. We're coming up on a platforming segment, which is really interesting. Because it's interesting levels of platforming. I think about going for that, but then I choose not to. I think what I did is scouted ahead as to what was down here and decided if I wanted to go for it or not. So we're coming up on a bit of interesting platforming. My first recorded playthrough made it most of the way through it without, like before dropping. Second full playthrough, I dropped incredibly early. It's this. And I think this is a really good bit of platforming. It's also really good practice for Wily Stage 1 later. Not that there's an easy way to practice this without tools. And I just decide I'm gonna blow this up because, honestly, I'm not using this power-up, I don't think, anyway. What do I use here? Airman? Okay. I'm not very familiar with the boss weaknesses either. Anyway, this is Flashman. Yeah, why did I pull out Airman? This is weird. We're in Metal Blade. Metal Blade does a pretty decent job of this guy. Messy as hell, but that's how it usually goes for me, even without the tool assisted. I think I didn't even like the Lotus State pre-boss. But I say Flashman for near last. It's really helpful in a lot of places in the game, but I never use it. Oh, this must be item 3. Yeah, item 3. I think a better way of handling the miscellaneous movement-based items would be to make them based off number of stage rather than actual individual stage location. Like, you do 2 stages, you get item 1. You do 2 more, you get item 2. You do 2 more, you get item 3, kind of thing. You do 2 more, you fight Wily. Anyway, Quickman stage. Very infamous stage, I feel like. This stage is probably... Do I go for that? I guess I go for that. See, I already have 10 lives, so I'm going for this. It's 11 lives. If I didn't go for some of these lives, I probably could have done the game over thing in the boss rush, but it would have looked a little less tool assisted-y. I genuinely don't know. I just skipped those guys because we can't be bothered. This took a good chunk of my re-records. This is Quickman stage. Those lasers kill you instantly. There is no discussion about it. If you fall wrong, then you're just dead. If you choose incorrect pathing, you're just dead. Also, the menu here is weird. It does this weird thing. And I think I just concede and go to 1. Yeah, I kept in a lot of this shenanigan. Okay. That's fine. There's probably more to it. I don't know why the menu does this specifically. This part took me a while. Wait, never mind. The next iteration of the lasers took me a long while. So yeah, it's all dark until these guys are on screen, and then when they're not on screen, everyone should be asking, where are those guys? Because we can't see. They're literal living robot torches. They're like cyborgs, I guess, closer to than like robots, but... I digress. We're gonna fall again. This one took me a very large amount of time, and it's really easy to melt lives in a level like this. Now, I like the level like this aspect. I like this as an obstacle. I don't in a lives-based video game, where, you know, you have a set amount of lives where you have to do everything over again. In an infinite lives format, I think the Quickman lasers are a fantastic obstacle. I like them a lot. Because it requires you to, like, know and memorize the level, which is really cool. The problem then lies in, the lives-based problem, which Mega Man has just always had. And in the year of our Lord 2023, as of this recording, do we really need lives-based anything? I don't care that this game was not made in the year of our Lord 2023. It's just, you know, in general, lives just kind of really bog down the experience of what you can do with interesting things without it turning into marathon, memorize everything forever difficult. I think I just tank a death here, because I'm not good at this fight otherwise. So I do tank a death here. Quickman is a very rough one. So yeah, we pull up Flash, because I didn't want to like go in and have... Now I could have used an E-Tank, but I'm saving these for the Wily stages. I overestimate how many I need for the Wily stages, but I save them for the Wily stages. Anyway, we do that, and we're just like gonna let it run its course. On normal difficulty, this would just be the fight. What do I end up using? Just the Buster? Trying to see how much damage it does. I think it does 2 pips. Yeah, it does 2 pips. So you can get into a situation like that and just like kind of win. Dove, you said this was tool assisted, but you're playing very badly. It's because I'm not actually like tasking everything to perfection. I don't want to do that. The point of the tool assisting was to cut down on the editing work, and also to be able to do post commentary in a reasonable way. because the alternative would be to record a full playthrough with my mic muted and then do post commentary to cut out on the tasking, but then I have to edit it anyway. So at that point, may as well just do it a tool assisted. Anyway, it's Wily time. Anyway, you like those sirens? It's Wily time. Do you like those eyebrows? It's Wily time. You like I Want to Be the Guy? It's Wily Stage 1 time. As overrated and overused as the Wily Stage 1 and 2 theme is, I still really like it. I can't hate it. Yeah, see, I can't stay mad at it. I can't stay mad here. So we're starting with just Metal Blade because we got these guys. Now I don't need to farm anything, so I'm like actually just, well, I was just trying to let them like hit the ground, but I guess I wanted some small energy there. I'm not sure why. I'm not sure why I'm letting them hatch, to be honest, because I could just shoot them out of the air and get the same result like that. I think I should start doing that. Yeah. Because, like, as cool as it is. Anyway, you did all 8 stages. You have all the items. Okay, that part's fine. But you have all the, you've done all the stages. Now do like 5 with no healing, essentially. Like your health gets restored, but not your weapon energy. And hey, look, you needed this before, now you need it again. There's no difference in the obstacle. I'm not sure why it's like that in case you somehow fluke your way over the first wall, but I don't see that happening. Is that like trying to farm them? What are they doing here? Cool. I'm not sure what I was trying to do. I think I was like trying to farm there, but I don't know why. As for why I didn't switch earlier, when you have like, you know, item 1, item 2, whatever, actively out, you can't swap. You're just stuck forever. Also, these guys immune to Metal Blade, frustratingly enough. I'm not sure why I swapped and then swapped off. Because, like, because I need the Buster here, I think. Oh no, I can use Metal Blade here. This takes a while, though. This takes a while. Anyway, so we're up here now. This is the climbing stuff segment. This was like the first, what I'm calling red flags. Well, maybe not this. I might be thinking of a different spot in the stage. Hold up. Essentially, there are some parts of these stages that it's just like, I like edit out or speed up, and like my commentary isn't great because I'm frustrated. Yeah, I switched to Metal Blade there because I think there's more stage. Okay, I remembered falling off there, but I guess I might be thinking of something else. Anyway, it's time for Dwagon. Also, massive flashing lights warning coming up because this is just a solid black background. And all the bosses flash when they die. But, like this one in particular because it flashes the whole screen and the background is just a black background. So the flashing here is like very noticeable. Anyway, this boss is like really, really hard, I think, except it isn't because you can just do that. And that's Wily 1. Now that by itself would be fine. Like, I don't mean just that should be the only stage. I mean just like, you know, these stages are getting harder and they got progressively harder from here. But like, give me my weapon energy back between stages. I don't see why that's a big deal. Maybe the rest of the games do that. I don't know. Yeah, no, I go to heal my item 1 because I think I need the movement. I think I do farm for weapon energy here. Also for energy or weapon 1. And then this starts happening, and then I go for the energy, but like I need to kill this guy. Does it despawn? I don't think it does. No, okay. Okay, and then there's more weapon. And then I think I'm done. You crazy kids! Ah, jump on the spikes guy. Can't call him man though because he's not like, you know, a robot master, he's just a guy. I thought about going for that area, but then it's like, oh, then I need to use like a bunch of crash bombs, so... Anyway, let's slowly refill item number 2. Cool. I'm glad we had this discussion. I'm glad that we had this in our lives. I'm grateful. So now we're down here. Everything is like really, really spiked. And hey, look, it's our good friends, these guys again. Metal Blade is okay. Hey, look, another natural 1-up drop. I think I'm going for weapon energy for quick. No, for item 2. Another 1-up that I collect for some reason. And, way worse in the casual playthrough, or in the actual playthrough side of things. I'm using Metal Blade here because it pierces and hits the other things, but then I need to replenish, Metal Blade, so I come back here and I'm still farming. Maybe it's a later stage? No, I think this is where I wise up, yeah. Where I can, like, yeah, just get health and also choose to fill things without wasting other things. Like a policy slot. Oh yeah, that just despawned. So I threw a blade in frustration. Don't know why I did that. Besides the fact that I was frustrated. So yeah, this is like a hallway far. I'm at 15 lives. Wow, okay. Like if lives just genuinely didn't matter, if I just spawned in like a 30 live cheat code or something, I could probably play this casually and just die to bosses and stuff, but like... The game overing was just, like, not a fun thing to try and edit around or play around. So we have a bouncing platform guy. We gotta wait a bit though, you can't jump right away. You gotta wait a little bit. Because these things hurt like hell. And unlike most obstacles of this type, I don't think you can jump through the chain. So, like, the chain actually is part of the ouchie and hurts just as much as the spikes because it's one obstacle. I'm not sure why that is. I could be wrong, but I remember that vaguely. Anyway, this boss. This didn't end my first playthrough, but it damn near did because I basically game overed here. Because I got here on 1 life. Oh no, this almost ended the first playthrough because I got here on like half health, couldn't farm it back up. And dying here starts you at the beginning of the stage, I think, for some reason. So it's one of those, I really didn't want to die here, and it's like would have been virtually no commentary. In fact, this is where I got the idea for doing post-recording, post-commentary over like a full completed playthrough. The second playthrough had commentary and better commentary, but I left gaps intentionally for post-commentary for things like bosses and stage redos. But then I get to the Wily stages and it's like, I'm still not having fun. This still kind of doesn't feel good for me. Anyway, we're out of I Want to Be the Guy land. We're in just like normal land. We could use Crash Bomb for those. Those are a trap. These are not, though. We can do this. I refill item 3, although I don't think I need it again for the rest of the game. But I also didn't have anything else that desperately needed the filling. Anyway, this level's pretty cool because you can largely skip most of it. I think more fish are supposed to jump out at you, but that just only happened once. Like there. Like at no point do you actually have to stop, because those fish go really slowly. It's not like Mario Thwomps or whatever, where you have to bait them and then go above/below them depending on orientation. No, you just run and jump over that. This is another stage, I think, where there's no actual in-level checkpoints. I could be wrong. I remember this being a thing, though. Because I think this is the boss I remember. Like, the infamous boss I remembered from this game before playing through it again myself very recently. Anyway, we get quick. Right, never mind. I keep forgetting this boss exists. I made this mistake every single other playthrough. Anyway, it's the Guts tank. I thought about using an E-tank because I couldn't finish him off from there, and then just like one jump, I just like decided to finish him off there. I decided I had the skill to do it. I remember how that went rather vividly. Anyway, our weapon energy still isn't refilled. But we get these, like, we were getting these every now and then. Like at the start of levels, you could refill a little bit. You get a couple of big ones, just a little bit of whoops, we designed a video game. So I switch again. I think this is, I'm pretty sure I'm on Metal Blade, I could be wrong. And, hey look, more Metars. This stage is also pretty cool. Like, in terms of design, because there's, like, fake floors and stuff. There, and that's my demo of it. There's fake floors and stuff. I just happened to remember where most of them were, and by that I mean I fell down that one, I guess, to really demonstrate the property of invisible floor. But, like, honestly, it's not that hard to remember. This one I straight up use a bubble shot, I think. So you shoot it, and then it falls eventually because it falls, and that's where the fake floor is, so you can't just walk forever. But you can walk about halfway and just jump to the ladder, and that's legal, and no one can stop you. Anyway, more Metars. They're pretty cool. Do I grab the C-tank? I think I just decidedly do to show it off, because I did every other playthrough as well. I also use one so it's not wasteful, so I get, like, restore the 2 pips of health that I lost. Because, you know, that's important. We have to restore all those pips as well. So in any case, yeah, we do this falling down a ladder thing. And with damage boost, you can largely skip a lot of this. Item 2 lets you skip a lot of this. I'm taking the bus around Wiley 4 Town because, yeah. And this bus, you have to wait for it to show up, drop onto it from the highway. Then you have to get off the bus so it can run its rounds around an area, a neighborhood you don't want to go down because they'll shoot you or whatever. And then you have to, like, get back on the bus, but you stay in the same spot. It's just doing a loop. Hey, look, a 1-up. That one was also natural, if I recall, because there's like, no reason for me to be farming anything. And it was around this point while making the task, I was like, if I had had this 1-up luck, I would have played the game legit. Probably, and I would have been fine, because I could have just, like, game overed at a certain spot, gotten my energy back, everything would have been fine. The mountain of editing problem was still there, but, like, if I went into the boss refights with, like, 10 lives, for example, yeah. I don't know what you're supposed to do there other than item 2. I actually genuinely don't know if there's a non-solution. So I get hit with gun and just run away. I get hit with gun and just, like, kind of ignore this guy. By that I mean I actually end up getting hit again. I don't know why. I should have just taken that bullet, but it jumped over me, so it was okay. Bachoom, bachoom, bachoom. I decide turbo is a fun button to have. The problem with turbo, though, is only so many shots can stay on screen at one time. So, it's not the most conducive strategy. This boss is, like, probably the most infamous boss in all of Mega Man, because those walls are crash walls, and each of those little nodes can only be destroyed by a crash bomb. and you have exactly enough crash bombs to get through this boss fight in one go, in one try. Alternatively, you break all the walls, die with, you know, with extra lives, and then farm back up the energy to get crash bomb refilled. I didn't want to do that. It is very much easier. Why did I go here first? It probably was one of the ideas of all time. And I have to use an E-tank here because I'm gonna die otherwise. Yeah, and I tried to dodge that shot that I knew was coming and just didn't. It's the most tassy thing I do. Well, never mind. I go for this one first, I guess. And then I still get hit. Well, no. Yeah, so you have exactly enough crash bomb to make it through. Maybe there's like a layout where you can get away with like only with still having one left, and that's without dying to recharge them or change the room. Anyway, this is like the Wily finale show. It's the Skull Dot, and it's the boss refights, and it's the first game that does it like this instead of just having them randomly thrown in stages like 1 did. And X1 did for some reason as well. Despite X1 coming out way after this game. Anyway, I've decided to use Quickman Boomerang here, and I'm not entirely sure why. I think it does 2 pips. Yeah. Safer than Buster. If you're good, you can get him into, like, these loops. But if you're not like me, then you use emulator function to make the video better, whatever. That means trying to go for that frame perfect shot and failing, and I left it in, and I'm kind of glad I did because it was funny. Anyway, we can't defeat Airman Part 2. I should figure out what your actual weakness is one of these days, but Buster works just fine. Why didn't I shoot? Oh, because that tornado, probably. Anyway, I almost die. But now we got Metal Blade. I'm going to Woodman. I'm pretty sure Woodman also almost kills me. This is where I realize holding turbo is probably not the most conducive strat. Let's get some health back. This is me looking up the next boss without pausing the recording. Because I had a map for which boss was where, and then, like, you know, that way I could plan my abilities beforehand without having to, like, pause in fight. Just to save myself a little time. I guess I'm at 16 lives. Quickman! Quickman! He's jumping. I'll crump with you, sweetie pie! I guess that's what I was doing there. I remember getting distracted from making this task to watch that clip. And I don't remember what, like, thought bouncing that goes on in my brain led me to watch that clip there. It might have been the little dance I did, in fact. I don't know. I took way more unnecessary damage than I ought to have. But I also wanted the playthrough to not look very obviously tasked. Because this is still like kind of my playthrough. And if I just did a task, there's like none of me here. Despite the post-commentary thing going on. I wanted like my flavor of being bad at video games to be prevalent throughout this playthrough, I guess. Right, I want to save Metalman himself for last, so we're gonna fight Flashman. There's like a lot of unnecessary contact damage, and me taking a lot of unnecessary contact damage. And I say that for last because Metalman is incredibly easy because he's weak to Metalman. In normal, he dies in 1 hit. On difficulty, he dies in 2. And I saved him for last because of the health drop. So hey, look, a 9th portal. And also look how much, not a whole lot of weapon energy do I have going on here. Anyway, it's Wily. So my first playthrough ended here. Because I could not for the life of me. Every time I would, I'm using another E-Tank here, by the way. Or am I? Yeah, I was about to say, I died in 1 hit. Also, more flashing light warning. There's probably editing done to show you this, rather than me tell, but, like... My first playthrough ended here because, like, the fire, the heat man, the flamey whooshy temperature increase ability, it's a charged move, but for some reason it would just randomly drop the charge, and I don't mean with me taking damage. My second playthrough ended here. Actually, no, it ended at the alien because I had to game over for Bubble. It ended here because for some reason... So, like, normally you can just hold right and run and jump, and if you never stop, these things are never a risk to you at all. But if you get hit by one, you're basically screwed. Unless you have E-Tanks. Because the final boss hurts a lot. But I kept getting hit by them despite just holding run and right. Despite just holding right and jumping occasionally and not stopping. Bubble Lead is the only thing that will hurt this enemy. Ever. Everything else heals it to full. I'm not making that up. I don't show it off here because limited amount of bubble. So I'm doing this strat where I get hit and then just like drop a lot of bubbles into it. And I'm not great at it because I'm basically just turboing, but then it just dies. And that's the end of the Megamans. That's the end of that's the final boss. And I remember complaining about this game a lot during the credits and just like, you know, how much I don't like it and stuff. And that's when I realized I need to not do like I need to not do a live commentary playthrough of this game. I just don't. Not like if I ever get good at this game, yeah, maybe, but you know, until that day comes, which it won't. Cuz it's not like I'm practicing or anything. Anyway, we got the anime walking home sequence with Megaman. And there's a town, and it's autumn for some reason. So, like, yeah, no, I've pretty much given my thoughts on this game throughout the entire video at this point. But, yeah, it's just, you know, I don't hate this game. I really honestly don't. I'm just incredibly bad at it. That is the honest truth of it. And I don't like that as an excuse of giving criticism of, oh, you don't like this because you're bad at it. I'm not a big fan of that particular line of thinking. But I will admit that is why I don't care for this game as much. Now it's rain season. I skipped winter. Now it's summer. It's time for summer vacation. We're gonna leave our robot helmets on the countryside and go play in a field forever. See? That's what happened. We left our Mega Man helmet in a field and are going to play forever. So, but I gave my thoughts on the game as it is. I don't hate it. It's a perfectly fine game. Its most egregious thing is the lack of weapon energy heal between stages, in the Wily stages. And also this boss in the final gauntlet can only be damaged by one specific thing, and you basically need full charge in order to make use of it. And if you screw up, game over, start the entire stage over again. I don't like that. So like the crash bomb boss and the true final boss are just like kind of like the biggest sore spot for me in this game. But like watching through this back, you know, the game itself isn't terrible. You know, like a lot of those stages are like, oh yeah, I kind of like this as a design. Like I like Yoku blocks, I always have. You know, I like the way some of these stages just kind of vibe and function. I love Quickman's stage, but like without the prospect of lives. Like with save state checkpoints, Quickman stage is a lot of fun. With infinite lives, Quickman stage is a lot of fun. And it's just, you know, really all there is to it. It's just kind of held back by its age, but also like some of it's, we gotta make this game hard or ship it out. It's gotta be hard. They're gonna rent it. We gotta get him to buy it. Let's make it hard as hell. Arcade logic, baby. And kind of bleeds through a lot of older games. Arcade logic with like lives and stuff. But other than that, I can't say I hate the game. And so we come to the end of this, and it's like, I'm really, really glad that I did this post-commentary. Not really much else to say. Yeah, that's gonna do it. Thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, or whatever.